back to Aspire Higher with Charles and Ivana. That's me. I am so excited today because we're going to jump right in. We're going to talk about responsibility. But before we do that, it is your responsibility to help support us, please. So do that by subscribing. Real quick, go ahead and subscribe to our channel and also like the episodes. Go back and share them and be our #1 supporter as we hit our 1,000.
Yeah, we crossed 1,000.
Woo-hoo!
Thank you
So
guys
excited.
for listening and being a part of our
It means
audience.
it's effective. That's a good part.
That's a blessing.
Now let's talk about how responsibilities flow into people's lives, what that looks like, the structure of it. Let's get right into it. Okay?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, because responsibilities can hit us in a way that many of us, I always laugh when I hear this phrase, adulting is hard. Right? It really is. And it's funny, you think about when we were kids, though, parents would always say, and it's not even an often, it's an always say, oh, you wait till you're older, or the real world, you get tired of hearing that.
No, but it's true.
The world didn't change, but your experience and relationship to it surely does. And that's what makes it difficult because responsibilities can hit you hard.
I know.
So today we want to talk about not just responsibility, but how you can manage it. Yeah. Some tips and tools that we can give people to actually use to manage their day better. Yeah. But there's a story I learned recently that I want to tell. I love telling these stories and things like this, but some of you have even heard this story. It's the story of the glass jar, right? So there was a professor, and some of you may already feel like you know where I'm going, but trust me, you don't. There was a glass jar professor brought to his class, and it was filled with stones, large rocks. And then he brought it before the class, and the class was like, what is he doing? He said, well, if you look at this jar, is it full or is it not? And they said, well, it's not full. So he got some pebbles, poured them in the jar, started filling in the cracks in between the rocks. Then they were like, well, still not full. So he grabbed some of the little things that go into the fish tank, pours them in there. They go between the pebbles and the rocks. And he said, now is it full? Are you satisfied? They said, no, because it could still fit something else in there. So he grabs sand. He pours the sand, shakes it up, pours it in again, shakes it, fills the jar, or so it seems. And he says, so now is it full? And he had one bright student in the audience that said, no, it's not full because you can still add water. So he takes water, and sure enough, he pours water, and the water fills in the spaces that you couldn't see and perceive. And immediately everyone in the audience is like, I've seen this before. This is the illustration that no matter how much we're doing now, we can always make room for more things. He said, no, you've totally missed the point. He said, what was important were the big things only fit because we put them in first.
That's true. That's very true.
You have to remember the lesson about responsibility is that if you're not careful, you can fill your jar with all these small things that don't amount to anything in your life. Or you can empty the jar, fill it with the things that matter, fill it with the weighty things, and then make time or space for the little things that can make your life full.
Right. Very true. There are so many times where multitasking and filling up your jar with like the little things can lead to breakdown, can lead to, being so disheveled that you can't get back to the things that matter,
That's exactly the point. And I think that that's a great place to open up this conversation because I know that resonated with somebody. Somebody probably felt that and thought to themselves, dang. Because how many days have we spent, and I bet you could talk about this, have you ever had days where you didn't strategize your day?
Of course. Oh my gosh. Let me tell you something. Oof. So yes, I have. And hey, victim to social media.
Okay.
Or victim to not even starting my task list. Delaying the task list delayed the whole day. Made me feel like I have to catch up. And I hate playing catch up. It just doesn't make any sense to me. But the thing about it is that I'm human. 99% of us are human because we have robots
and
now.
99% of all statistics are made up on the spot.
Anyway, so research suggests. But no, seriously, when you don't prioritize your day off rip in the morning or the night before.
Come on, coach.
I had to switch that. My old habit was the morning.
That's right.
And sometimes I would be delayed.
Yeah.
especially you have life that hits, right? You can get a wrong text message. You can wake up sick. There's so many different things that can happen to delay.
If you got kids.
All that. But with that being said, when you set up structure the night before and lay out the tasks, lay out what needs to be prioritized first, what can I get to at the very end? If I don't get to it, what can I leave for the next day? That structure and prioritization has helped me to feel stable, helped me to feel firm, helped me to feel almost also too in a good way conviction that if I don't get to it, it means I was off course. So find a way back on course. And so I write everything down.
Absolutely.
Write it down. Absolutely. And I've noticed that when I write it down and I check it off, it's completed. I'm like, I did it.
It's an immediate hit of dopamine because you feel fulfilled.
That's right. I do feel fulfilled. And when I don't feel fulfilled, I messed up. It is what it is. I messed up. And nothing philosophical. I messed up. I didn't do what I needed to do. But it is what it is.
But here's what's crazy. I have a client that I just finished his purpose periodization with.
Beautiful.
Incredible transformation. I mean, it just blows my mind. It almost gives me chill bumps from my head down to my fingertips.
That's right.
Because you never know sometimes the state a person is in, but they're in it because they didn't have a plan for their day.
Of course.
They're allowing their day to happen to them.
That's right.
So they're always in reactive mode.
Right. Come on.
Right?
Yep.
And when you get to be overly reactive, you become overactive.
Yeah.
And you start to confuse busyness with business.
Yes.
Or busyness with actual motion or momentum. And how many times, I guarantee you, if you're listening, you've had these days, I have them.
Yeah.
We've all had them where you do so much, but you look back and you realize it didn't move anything. You're tired. You're exhausted. This always drives me nuts with people in particular, even myself sometimes when I had to do the self-evaluative work. I'm like, I'm exhausted.
Yeah.
And if I really, really am honest with what I did today, I would have spent 2 hours watching Netflix. I would have spent 2 hours on. But here's the point I'm making. There are times when you don't prioritize your day. Your day will give you something and make you believe it's a priority.
That's right.
You'll finish the day feeling like you put in 8 to 10 to 12 hours of work when you put 8 to 10 to 12 hours of worthlessness into
there's a
existence.
Word called idle.
It's idle.
IDLE, idle time, idle motives. That is something that's very scary because it can feel like you ever had a car that was idle or stalling?
Yeah, sure.
You want to go forward, you want to keep going, but it's idle.
Bro, this ain't going nowhere.
Nowhere. So you need a jump start. You need to make sure that you are recharging that alternator, recharging the starter, whatever you do to get back in routine.
I like how you knew these topics. Though.
You
But
like
you know a lot about cars
industry.
now. Yeah, that's right. All right, now Miss Speaker of the House. All right, I feel you.
But it's important. Yeah. It's important. And I've had the pleasure of restructuring my clients' journals, right? So we'll start off the new year with vision boards and let's have a vision party. And there's nothing wrong with that. I think I celebrate it too. But the problem is once you start that vision and February hits and the vision's nowhere to be found.
Or you don't go see it.
What are you doing?
Yeah.
What are you doing? You wrote it down. The vision is running, but when are you going to catch up? When are you going to join the race?
When are you going to take time to actually know what the plan is? Like we said in our last episode, run the play. So many people write these vision boards and draw them up. They spend hours making them beautiful.
You should see some ones I've seen.
Yeah, I mean, decorative.
Man. Did nothing all year.
We're not laughing, and if it's you gotta laugh too. You have to laugh.
Let's take ownership. It is what it is.
It is what it is. Be an owner
of your strategy and your program.
And your vision, right. It's a vision board. So that means you have to see it.
Every coaching session, I will always tell my clients, where's your journal?
Yeah.
But I can hear you. I'm listening to you. No.
Yeah, that
we need to write down the action. You need to be accountable to that action.
Yep.
And then when I ask you if you did your homework throughout the week, we need to make sure that we have something to go back on and that you can actually say, you know what? I did check it off. It's done.
Man.
It's completed, coach. Those words right there, they light me up more than Oreo sundaes.
Absolutely, because you know that you're giving them a chance to fulfill what's on the inside of them because they're making it a reality outside of them. It's not just something that's in their head.
It's not.
And many of us struggle with that. We have the idea of what we want so bad and the hope of what it could be. And we have it in our brain, but it's not real.
No.
We didn't materialize anything because we thought that that's what vision is. Vision is not just seeing it. Right? It is the scope of what must be done to achieve it.
Come on.
It is giving you the actual strategy. Even if things don't go your way, you know the way that you're going.
That's right. That's right.
Woo!
That's right.
Say it again.
Run. Yep.
Even if it doesn't go your way, you know the way that you're going.
That's right. That's right.
And it's funny because I was going to say about the client that I had, he has this barbecue restaurant, right? And he was all over the place. The man was like, I'm in LA and I'm doing this and I'm building and it's starting to grow. I'm doing pop-ups but I want to go back home. I think I'm gonna move back to the South and I want to be closer to that side. But he has a family and he's got kids, but he's talking about moving over here and starting a business over here and then maybe bringing them over here. But the business is just starting to grow where he is. And I'm like, son, you're not even putting in maximal effort in what you got.
Yeah.
I was like, every day, the reason why you feel this aimlessness,
for sure,
and you were about to say it, this inner turmoil, you're being pulled, is because you're not pushing or propelling what was inside of you where you are. Maximize where you are. Do what you can with what you have, use that source as a resource for what you can expand into later.
Come on.
Problem is when you have a scoped idea, you can't get a narrowed vision of the tasks that get you to that point.
That's right.
So now you're thinking, I got to do all of it at once. But really, you just need to do one thing at once. I remember saying this. I know I'm talking a lot and I do this and I say this every episode because I do. But, my mind is going 1,000 miles per hour. But when I was in college, hear me out. This is going to help somebody. And I promise I'll give you, I promise. I'm sorry.
Right.
When I was in college, you remember back in the day we used to have CD burners?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's right. Oh, see, I didn't. She did. People used...
people in New York.
Yeah,
I watched them rip CDs. I didn't really know how. Tell me how. Go ahead.
What was the name of the website again? Yeah. But back then, everybody had a burner, right? And I will never forget when you were going to copy a CD. When you were going to copy a CD, you had to choose. You had to choose between the track at once or the disc at once feature. Wow. People forget this. Okay, I'm definitely telling on myself. This is the most incriminating evidence. I mean, I'm about to break it down.
Okay,
to
we don't even have CDs anymore.
I know, right? That's true. All right, but you never know. People are getting back on people for a lot of things nowadays. So you got to be careful, right? All right. But the point I'm making is a lot of people, they have the idea of the CD, all the songs, all the tunes, all the lyrics, everything. But you don't make a CD disc at once successfully. Here's what I mean. Do you remember a problem that used to happen with CDs when you burned them?
No.
She gonna keep running with this. If you burned the disc at once, and anything interrupted your connection, or if you bumped the machine, or if it went to sleep, you couldn't use the CD. It was useless.
Wow.
Because it was burning pieces
Like
all over the place, fragments into one whole CD.
Wow.
But if you chose track at once, if anything happened, you can reburn over the part you didn't have because it would go track by track by track. So you would at least have a few songs on the CD, even if you didn't have the whole album.
Wow, what an expert.
The point I'm making is just like this client and just like you, just like me, sometimes we see the big picture.
Of course.
And we're trying to build the big picture all at once.
Oh, yeah.
But if we break it down into tasks and tracks, we can be responsible for that thing, which can then precede the next thing. And every time you complete one, you are building confidence. You are building expertise.
That's right.
You have a safe net. You have this protection mechanism that will give you a place to start over again, and you not have to go all the way back to the beginning.
Come on.
Coach Charles for the win. I'm sorry I got hyped. Forgive me. Because I know somebody wondering, I wonder how he's going to pull this together. Yeah. But that's the point.
Yeah, it's so true.
You like that? My brother. Yeah, producer. All right. I'm sorry. Listen, forgive me.
Help. I want you, since you're so hyped, read what's in chapter 2. Let's talk even more in depth about the responsibilities. Let's get back to that because it's really important, especially as people are lining up their year. They're maybe ending a year with a win or a loss. It's time to prioritize. It's time to get back in the flow of your responsibilities.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. And what we say in chapter 2 in particular about responsibilities is we start off with an analogy, right? Or I want to say analogy, it was a story.
Okay.
And we were trying to illustrate what you may be feeling and facing as a person, whether you're an athlete, a leader, CEO, mom, dad, whatever it is. And we just start off with another day, another list, tasks to order. Yeah. Go to the office, pretend I like this coworker. Hey, bro, I don't really like this coworker. Go back to my office. You need to stay in your lane. Hey, can you come help us with this? Why am I being asked to help with this? Didn't you just tell me to stay in my lane? Well, nah, I did the work. This person gets all the credit. I don't get any credit. I didn't even get the promotion. She got a promotion off of my work. Day's over. You know what? I need to go home. Crap, not home. I have a game to get to because my child is playing this evening. I'm already late. But when I get there, at least I can pretend like I saw the whole game. You did a great job, baby. Then you get to the store because guess what? You forgot to cook. Now I got to get something to eat real quick. Get back to the house, make this meal. Time to go to bed. Yeah. I got to go back, do this all over again. And that becomes the cycle of responsibility. And you didn't manage it.
No.
The day was happening to you. You didn't allow yourself to see how it should happen for you.
That's right. That's right.
That's what we are leading into when we talk about responsibility. And going back to the analogy of the glass jar, maybe it's time for you to pause.
Yeah.
Just like the disc analogy, you could pause for 1 second. Trust me, you can, even if it's for 30 minutes. And just for 1 second, get a grip and say, what is actually important that I must do that will move myself and my family, my career, my finances forward, whatever it is. If you hadn't, before you go to bed tonight, write down your list of the most important tasks you need to complete the next day. Not just things to do to fill the day.
Right.
Things that will actually help you fulfill that big overarching vision that you have in your mind. Breaking it down into actionable items that today, if you do them, will get you one step closer to that dream or goal.
That's beautiful. And I like that skit. I saw the whole thing.
Yeah.
That's somebody's life right there.
Right now.
Right now. And I have a dear friend, Jill Oja. My friend.
All right.
We were talking about how we finished the year, you know, and then what's set up for the new year. And it was really beautiful because most of my friends are authentic. I don't really do fake. I don't do phony. I need to be able to see you, to be able to trust you.
Because I'm going to let you see me.
Period.
Yeah.
So as we were talking, she has so many great accomplishments, Charles, like great. And we were talking about her speech and the things that she wants to do. Sure. And there was a moment where she acquired a property, a huge estate. Wow. And it's so beautiful what she's going to do with that and the event space and the wine cellar. It's just amazing. But with that being said, burnout happened. Burnout happened. And I share this because it happens to us all. But it's not okay just to say burnout happened because we have some burnout victims.
Yeah.
Burnout victims, right? And then
that's an interesting way.
Isn't that interesting? Not a burn victim, a burnout victim.
That has been trademarked by Aspire Heart Enterprises, copywritten.
But it was so beautiful because she didn't leave me with just being burnt out. She left me with this. You know what I did to regroup? Tell me about it.
This is Jill now.
Tell me about it.
Jill's tough.
Tell me about it. I said, tell me, Jill. She said, I went to an area, a friend that I trust. I went to her farm. I was with the horses. I had a good time with Kathy, and I got a chance to just break away and reset because I was imbalanced. I was imbalanced. And there's so many times where we don't give or take the moment to be authentic with how we might be imbalanced in life.
Yeah.
And that self introspection.
That's right.
Enables us to grow. Because in that moment, I was like, okay, that's perfect. You had a reset. You had something that fueled the natural desires of you to just be free and to retreat and take the moment. And then did you regroup? Absolutely.
Yeah.
Then you're better for it, taking those moments, regrouping,
That's right.
and then restructuring your tasks for the 2024 new year. Isn't that beautiful?
It's incredibly beautiful, because most of us, we will try to tell ourselves, I don't have time.
Right.
I don't have time. No, what you have is more time than you could imagine.
Take the time.
And when you say that, this is exactly what I'm trying to say.
Take the time.
If it's your time, you own it.
Take it.
So take it.
Take it
back.
Respect it, but take it.
Take it back. If you have all these little things, sand and water and pebbles that are taking up time that doesn't matter,
oh my God,
then take that time back and allocate it into something else. I'm telling you, going back to the whole Instagram thing, you know, it's funny. This is incredible. And again, I'm not hating on Insta. We're on Insta.
No, we love it.
We love it.
It's a marketing tool. It's
everything about social will help you if you use it correctly. It can be a great tool.
It is.
But let's just be real. Most of us know, and most of us don't want to admit, that we're addicted to social media.
The tool. Right.
We're letting it happen to us. We're letting it abuse us. I'm just going to say that for real because we have to.
Real quick.
Go ahead.
I just thought about that. You have a vision, right? Let's take January 2024.
I'm about to talk about it.
You have a vision for your future.
I'm about to talk about it.
The minute you get on Instagram, just as mindless scrolling, you are watching other people's visions. You are intaking other people's visions, and you might start assigning that to, I need that. I want to go there. I need to do that.
Why does my husband do this? Why doesn't my wife do this? She doesn't look like that.
Well, I wasn't going to say all that.
No,
but
I'm being real.
No, it's true.
I'm being so real right now.
It's true. But even with that, there are so many pictures that are being painted that now can start to shift your narrative and your focus on the day. All of a sudden you get done scrolling and you're like, wait, what was I supposed to do again?
Right.
You're disappointed, you're dissatisfied, you're not
depressed.
Content, no joy, no happiness,
because you've taken in everyone else's vision.
I'll say this. If you can't develop some type of self-control over your social media,
you just need to get off of it.
Take it off.
You have to.
Fast from it.
Don't be
Discipline
offended.
yourself
just
from
do
it and get to the vision board.
Yes.
Get back to business. It is you have to be intentional about this because it's not meant to steal you.
Let me say this. Yeah. Because what you just said, you have to be intentional.
Right.
This is what I try to tell people, even about my own social media profile. Look, I don't have thousands and thousands of followers.
You may not need it. Yeah.
But the point I'm making is this. Some people will see my profile and they will say to themselves, oh, look at him showing off his highlight reel. I get so sick and tired of people just saying these cliche statements without thinking through them. Here's what I mean. I have come to and I've made the decision for myself that my social media is a reflection of how I see me. You are an audience that gets a chance to witness how I paint the picture for myself and of myself, because there's a way I want to see me so that I can authentically be that man. I am creating a vision for myself. So when I look at my social media, when I look at my feed, literally what I'm seeing is the man that I want to become. I'm seeing the man that I'm helping to build. I'm seeing the business owner that I am truly trying every day, making effort to become. I'm seeing the speaker, the guy that inspires and motivates people every single day. That is a vision in front of my face. You are second to my idea and perception of myself.
That's power.
What you need to start doing is look at your social media and ask yourself, is it reflecting the image of who I want to become? Ooh. This has nothing to do with being fake. This has nothing to do with being inauthentic. This has nothing to do with I woke up this way. This is me saying when I see the picture of myself, my brain, we talked about this in the last episode, my mind says this guy is serious about his calling. He's serious about inspiring people. He's serious about being well kept, and he likes to look good. He's not showing off. He's showing himself.
That's right.
To himself.
That's right. That's beautiful. Thank you for that. That was a good nugget.
Yeah, man.
It's funny because I have a picture on my phone. It's my screensaver of the woman who I am becoming.
Ooh.
And Number
every day.
one time I lost my phone in Miami, of all places, in Miami at the biggest event ever. And the woman said, I didn't know whose phone that was it? One of them. I didn't know whose phone this was until I saw the image. So I was able to return the phone back to you because your image was on the. Now you got a revelation. I'm just speaking, but tell me what the revelation is in a minute. But this picture happened to be my Hall of Fame in athletics celebratory moment. And it also is my narrative for I am resilient. I am an overcomer. I am a high-level achiever. I am a woman who has been through trials and tribulations, who has had to pivot so many times within her purpose, but has never, ever quit and never will quit. And when I see that woman on my phone, and I could have a picture of you, dog, it doesn't matter, but for me, it was intentional because I don't want to let that woman down. I can't let that woman down. She's depending on me to fulfill the destiny that God has called me to live.
Sorry, I transcended that moment. Oh my gosh.
That's just the truth.
This is what we talk about when we're talking about responsibility.
Exactly. And not letting another person's opinion affect me because someone will be, oh, that's narcissistic. Is it?
Is it?
I know my reason.
I know me.
I know me. And that's all that matters, period.
You said, the woman said, I was able to return the phone to you because I was able to see the image.
Yeah.
And in our book, we talk about how so many people are asking God, like, why is it not happening for me? When is it going to be my time? Yeah. And I'm trying to find my purpose and I feel hopeless. I feel helpless. And this is not where I wanted to go, but I got to say this first. Sometimes your purpose will not know.
I see it. Say it.
Who it belongs to.
Jeez.
Because the image of the person it was looking for
come on.
doesn't match the image.
That's so deep. That's so deep. You just ran a whole race just now. You know that, right? 7.6 seconds in the in the 80s.
Image didn't match.
Ooh.
Because you could have had an image
of
a woman
that
didn't look like the image of that phone.
Oof.
And sometimes our purpose, our calling, our potential is like, I think that's them.
Oof. That's deep. That's so deep.
I don't know.
That's so deep.
And the whole time it's looking for you, you miss your time.
Jesus. That's real.
I guess I'll have to come back around. I made a pass. I came just like an Uber. I was there. I didn't see you.
Oh, man.
Standing right there.
Jeez.
Oh, my God.
That point right there.
Incredible.
Close the book. We're done.
No. Because we still have
that was it.
But this is what we hope you're able to gather. When we have these conversations, we're not just doing this to be entertaining. We're really trying to give of ourselves to you. So we hope that you subscribe, that you like, you share this. And if that really hit you, man, put that 100 or put a fire emoji in the comments.
That's right. Repost it.
Repost and share it.
Yeah, share it to your story.
Come on now.
Share it to your feed. Absolutely.
But I wanted to say this too, because that reflection though is a reflection of the work you actually put in. It's a reflection of you taking responsibility.
Absolutely.
And this is why we were talking about it at the beginning of this show. The responsibility. There's some studies, and this goes back to where you are right now currently in your job, or if you're an athlete. Are you actually giving 100%? Now, I'm not saying that it has to always be 100%. I do a keynote speech where I talk about intensity and consistency. But that's another point I'll make at another time.
Right.
But are you actually saying that you're giving attention to the big rocks in the jar? Or are you spending all your time on the minutia that has nothing to do with moving you forward?
Right.
For instance, there's research that has been done, multiple peer-reviewed articles that suggest that most people only work out of a full day 4.2 hours, despite being at the office 8 to 12 hours.
Jeez.
Because, and you can be admitted here and honest, most of the time, we are spending time doing other things on the internet or on our phone or thinking about other things that have nothing to do with what we're there to do.
Yeah.
And we then become so exhausted because we feel like we fulfilled so much in a day,
didn't do anything.
But we didn't do anything. Like how you whispered that. Responsibility.
Yes.
Here's how we suggest that you take responsibility for yourself, yes, which we've already given you some clues on that, but also your day. When you said the night prior, write down your task. I'm going to take it a step further. This is what I do personally in my life. My wife can attest to this, and I give this to my clients. I actually learned this from the team at Full Focus. And I did a version of this before, but they helped me simplify it. And I take what I call the big 3. When I'm coaching clients, for instance, you know Fletcher Cox?
Yeah, of course.
NFL athlete, he reached out to me. His significant other was having some struggles. Yeah. I gave her one of these tools to help her because she's trying to find what to do in the day and she wasn't feeling like she was accomplishing much. And I said, you do realize if you pick big 3, give them titles. Mine are specifically 1, spiritual or mental investment. 2, 1, revenue driving investment. What am I doing to increase revenue or bring in income? It may not mean that day, but it needs to be something that I can say as a direct result of the action I'm taking today, I could make money on the back end from it. And then the last one is what physical investment in the day. If I invest 30% to just those categories, 33.3% of my energy and effort, I will have accomplished more than 90%, another made up stat, 99. Of all the human beings on the planet in one day. Right. I didn't say I worked harder. No. I didn't say I worked longer.
You assigned tasks.
I assigned and accomplished things. Right. As opposed to say, I guess I'll just do that tomorrow. That's how I manage my day. If I can accomplish those big 3, all the little stuff could either feed into that or be stuff that I can make time for because I don't put the pressure on myself to say, I got so much to get done. I got so much to do. I don't have any time. Yes, I do.
Yes, you do.
Because I've deliberately focused my attention on these 3 things.
Yeah. Simple.
Very simple.
Simple.
But we need simple sometimes to be effective.
Right.
You don't need it to be deep. You just need it to be done.
Come on.
There we go. Keeping it real.
Keeping it real.
Well, guys, this has been a great show. We would love for you to give us your comments and your thoughts. There are some takeaways, clearly, that you can have.
Yes.
Coach, you want to do the do's or you like me to go ahead and say?
Take it away.
All right. First thing is keep the main thing the main thing.
Yes.
Look at the big rocks. Yeah. Whatever's really important, if it's family, career, financial, those are your big things. In those rocks, that's what you want to put your energy into. Everything else is in addition. If it doesn't fit, then you must have quit.
No, seriously, I promise. Come on, Johnny.
I know that doesn't fit, but I had to do it anyway. Sincerely.
Homage.
Just don't put it in the jar or make sure that you curate what goes in the jar. You don't always need sand. You don't always need pebbles. Sometimes those things are irritants.
True.
Second thing, stop letting the day happen to you. Position yourself. Take back, as Coach Ivana said, your position of authority, all right? And start allowing the day to happen for you.
That's right.
To propel the things forward. Yeah. Let some motion build so that you have momentum. That momentum will carry you to the finish line. And the last thing is you've got to strategize your day. Stop waking up every day with no plan.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean that it has to go like that. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Correct.
You just have a visual of what the day could be like. And at the very least, even if all these things happen, you will always refer back to, but these are the 3 things I'm after.
That's right.
These are the 4 things I'm after. Even if I had gotten distracted for 6 hours today, I did all the time. There are some days where from the hours of it's like 7 or 9 or whatever it is to 5, I just don't feel it. I don't have the flow. She'll tell you this.
Yeah.
And instead of beating myself up, I look at the list and I know that as long as I can get these 3 things done, I'm going to look back and say I had a great life today. I fulfilled some things. And sometimes I'll work from 8 to 3 or 4 in the morning. It doesn't matter. I got them done. I'm just telling you, prioritize your day. We hope that this has helped you. Oh, Coach has something to say.
I just wanted to add that a lot of people will assign pressure to themselves very early on in the year to accomplish their vision board, accomplish their tasks, accomplish all this. But one thing that's helped me and my clients is that one win a day. That's it. You might have the big 3, right? And that's your structure.
Hey,
but then what is the win? What is the win? Give yourself one win a
Recognize
day.
yourself for it.
That's it. That's it.
You know,
it's just that simple.
You can also add rewards to it.
I was going to mention it. Absolutely. And then reward yourself on it. Now, don't reward yourself.
I know.
Every
people get
single
crazy,
day.
right?
Just
I had a big win today. I'm going to go buy a burger bag.
Reward. But reward could be, it literally could be your, as opposed to 3 hours of Netflix, your 30 minutes of Netflix and a donut. Your 30 minutes of walking outside and playing Frisbee. It could be something,
or go do something fun, but just
go do something fun.
Yes.
Indoor skydiving.
But if you strategize your day, guess what happens?
Those are extreme, but
you realize you have time for those things.
Absolutely. But when you assign the focus like this, it gives you the blinders to protect your vision, protect those big 3, and then know that at the end of the day, I want to make sure I have one win. Forget all the other things. One win, and then by the end of the week, I have my celebration, whatever it is.
And celebration.
That's how simple you can make it.
Great living.
That's it.
Coach, you did a great job.
You did a great job. It was phenomenal.
I always appreciate sharing the opportunity with you.
That's it.
Guys, this is another episode of Aspire Hard with Coach Charles. That was a terrible job. Oh my gosh.
Pop. There we go.
Charles and Ivana Bailey, do us that favor. You know you like it. Hit subscribe, all right? Go back and watch some of our other episodes.
Yes.
We can't guarantee there's always going to be this hype, but we can guarantee you're going to always get some truth.
That's right.
Something that you can use immediately. And we
That's
hope
right.
Anything. Oh, my wife is
anything. And if there is one thing that you do need as far as speakers,
I was going to say it.
You were? Go ahead.
Girl.
All right, you got it.
All right. But we are offering that to you. Yeah. We're keynote speakers who happen to be coaches. We want to inspire your team. If you like any of the topics we talk about, you'll find them in our keynote talks. And trust us, they're memorable because they're actionable. And we're visionary. We're trying to challenge the way you think so that you can then implement.
That's it.
We hope that you would take us up on that. Find out more at aspirehigherlife.com. Send us a note. We read them personally. We appreciate you. Till next time.